Hey guys, fancy seeing you here on this fine day. Welcome to our Halloween special, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna rank all of the movies that I watched this month. Now, I'm going to frighten you by the number that we are ranking today, because we will be ranking 22 movies, all of which are either horror movies or thrillers. If there is a best time to watch scary movies, it is October. You know what? I am just going to shut up and show you the contenders for today. Anyways, let's just hop right into this because I have so many opinions that I just have to share. Where should we start? Let's start with the X trilogy. So first is Pearl. Pearl was like my introduction. I found it on TikTok and I was just like really intrigued by it, but Pearl wasn't on any streaming services, so I actually watched X first and I loved it, and I still love it. It's my favorite of the trilogy. I'm gonna put it at A because I think there are better. Pearl I actually didn't love. Like, I finally got to watch it. It finally came out on streaming services. It was very slow. I'm gonna have to give this one a C. Because then I watched Maxine, and I really liked Maxine, but not as much as I liked X. X was my favorite of the whole trilogy, and I would definitely be really interested to hear your thoughts. It didn't wrap the trilogy up the way that I thought it was going to. I still felt like there were unanswered questions, so I'm gonna give Maxine a B. Next there's multiple nun-related movies. So let's do The First Omen. I thought the concept of The First Omen was so interesting. Like, I was really intrigued by the idea, and there were definitely some plot twists here and there. I didn't love this movie as much as I thought I was going to. I think it's at the same level as Pearl, so I'm actually gonna give it a C. And as for The Nun, I was so freaked out by this movie. I got jump scared so many times. I loved it. I have not seen the second one yet. I really want to watch it because the first movie really left off on a cliffhanger, but my parents watched the second one and they said that it really wasn't about what happened at the end of the first movie, which disappoints me and makes me not want to watch it. But I'm gonna give The Nun an S. I thought that was such a good movie. Now I'm like looking at what we have left. Let's do It Chapter 2. I watched this when I was back at home with my family. It Chapter 2 made me cry literal sad tears at the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but they suck as friends and he deserved better. He did not deserve to be left there in that cave. I'm not gonna say who, but it just made me so mad. Y'all pick him up and take him with you. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but I did cry actual tears of sadness over the ending of this movie, and I did get made fun of by my family for that, and for that reason, I can't rank this movie highly. So I am gonna rank It Chapter 2 at, I'm gonna give it another C, because I don't feel like it's up to Maxine level. I don't. Can we talk about Bride of Chucky, please? I was so excited to watch this movie. It was my first time watching a Chucky movie, which I think is Child's Play or something like that, and it was so unserious to me. Like, I was giggling at this movie because you're watching these dolls run around and like kill people, and it was just so genuinely funny to me because like you see his little feet running. I'm like, he's a doll. So I feel like it was such a good movie though. Like, I actually enjoyed watching the movie. It kept me on my toes. That girl from Grey's Anatomy was in it. I can't even remember her character's name, but it was a good movie. I had no idea where it was going and I had no idea how it was going to end. I loved the ending. I thought that they did a really great job with that. I did like it, even though I thought it was so unserious and genuinely comedic. At points. So we're gonna give this a B. Should we just go in order from here? I feel like we should. Actually, let's do the babysitter movies. I freaking love these movies. Okay, I absolutely love them. Amazing cast. Like, I love the cast. Teddy from the Christmas Chronicles is the main character. Love that. Bella Thorne is in it. The quiet girl from Pitch Perfect is in it, and the guy from The Duff is in it. And he also is shirtless the whole time. Andrew Bachelor, also known as King Bach. I swear he is always cast as a teenager, and he's not. a teenager anymore. It had humor. I'm giving it an A. I'm giving it an A. The second one, I also really liked. I loved the ending. I thought it was very well rounded and well finished, but I do not think that it was as good as The Babysitter. Okay, we're gonna give that one a B with Maxine and the Bride of Chucky. That feels right in my soul. I'm gonna do an unpopular opinion next, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but this is the newest version, so I think it was 2022. I hated this movie. I hated it. The ending made me so mad. I was like, why? I'm giving this movie a D tier. It is in the lowest of lows for me. Let's do Abigail next because I love this movie. I love this movie. I feel like am I missing? Because I'm missing a movie. That makes it 25 movies. That's so embarrassing. I added Lisa Frankenstein. Continuing on with Abigail, I loved this movie. There were so many twists and turns. I'm giving this movie an S because I love it and I watched it I think like 2 days in a row. I love this movie. Let's do some of the classics next because I did watch some classics. So we're gonna do Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween. Okay? Let's start with Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the idea of this movie. I really do, and I know it's a classic, and I know Freddy Krueger is a very classic, and I loved that this was, like, when at the beginning with the credits, it says introducing Johnny Depp. Like, love that. Some of the acting in this movie, I was like, y'all are taking me out of the fantasy. I can't. I'm gonna give it a C because I like the idea. I just didn't love it. I didn't love it, okay? I'm sorry. This is the 1984 version, okay? 1984. Next we have the Halloween movie, the newest one. I think it was 2018 that it came out. I love these ones where it like comes back around. There's been so many Halloween movies and I love that it all comes back around to the first one in a way. Like I love that. I like it way more than Nightmare on Elm Street. We're gonna give it a B. On another note, I watched Friday the 13th, the 2009 version with that guy from Gilmore Girls and Supernatural. I love him. I love him. Loved this movie. I thought this one made up for all the other ones that I didn't like. I thought it was really good. I'm gonna give this A tier. A tier. Fear Street Part 2. I did not watch Part 1 because I didn't want to. I just watched Part 2, and honestly, I don't think you have to watch Part 1. I think Part 2 gives you everything you need, and it's better. But I don't think it was as good as some of these movies that I have up here in A tier. I think I'm gonna give it a solid B though, because it was definitely really good and I would watch it again. Let's do Woman of the Hour because I don't know if this actually counts as a scary movie. It's based on the real life story of Rodney Alcala, the serial killer, and he's known as the dating game killer because he was on this TV show called The Dating Game, which is crazy. Like, this is after he's already a serial killer. It was Anna Kendrick's directorial debut. I think she did a great job. I know probably too much about the real life story of Rodney Alcala, which I think ruined this movie for me because I was like, wait, why didn't you guys show this or this or this? Or like, I don't know, I was being really picky about it. I think the reason I was being so picky is I'm a very big fan. I don't want to say big fan, but I was really impressed by the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron. So I was kind of holding it up to those standards, which is really hard to beat. Even like holding it up to the standards of Dahmer, like that was a really good show as far as portraying what happened, you know? I would watch it again. I love Anna Kendrick. I really do. I'm gonna give it a C tier, which I know I was just hyping it up, but it was just really bothering me, like, because I know all these different things. So I'm like, that's what you decided to talk about? Why didn't you talk about this or this? So that's a me problem. Let's do MOM, Mother of Monsters. This movie was filmed in one of my favorite ways to like that movies are filmed. It was like all done through cameras and all done through computers and like that kind of thing. So there were no like cameramen, which I just love. I would eat that up every single time. It's a really interesting movie and I really liked it. I thought it brought awareness to a lot of things. I'm gonna put it at a B tier, which seems to be our most popular tier. Can we talk about Don't Move? I did not like this movie one bit. I actually had to skip through because I was like, I have to finish it but I don't like it. All I have to say is I'm giving it a D tier because we're following this woman who was like injected with paralyzers, so she can't move, she can't speak, she can't do anything other than blink, and how is that supposed to be interesting? I'm sorry, it's not interesting. Like, I at least need to hear your internal dialogue or something, because there's so much silence because she can't speak. Lisa Frankenstein. Again, I don't know if this is a horror movie. It is counted as a thriller on whatever streaming service this one was on. I love this movie. I need to watch it again because I thought it was so funny. I'm getting this an S tier, and I have no other words for that. If your lover wouldn't kill for you, should you even love him? That's what this brings to the table. Let's do the Terrifier movies next because I know they are very spoken about currently because the Terrifier 3 movie, and I will tell you right away, Terrifier 2 is yards, miles even better than Terrifier 1. So I am going to give Terrifier 1 a C tier. Terrifier 1 was very shallow in that we don't have much of a background on Art as a character. Terrifier 2 really explored that background and gave him a lot more depth, and I'm very interested to see how that depth is continued to expand and continue to explore on that. In the new one, I'm gonna give Terrifier 2 an A tier because I thought it was really interesting. I loved the climax of the movie. You know, the fight scene was really good. It was very drawn out. It was a very long fight scene, but I can't complain because it kept me on my toes. I watched American Psycho last weekend, I think, and I love this movie. I am putting it in S tier, even though at the end of the movie I was like, what did I just watch? Wait, I'm so confused. Wait, what? How? Wait, what? I love this movie. Christian Bale, love it. Made me feel insane. It made me feel like an American Psycho, and I applaud them for that. Trick or Treat. I just watched this movie last night. This movie was incredible. Incredible. I love when movies start one way and they end the same way, but explained to you, like you didn't understand it at the beginning, but now at the end you understand it all of a sudden. Chef's kiss. I love that, and I will be putting it in S tier. Unfriended. I watched this one yesterday too. I had a very movie-filled day yesterday. Again, this one is filmed entirely like through a computer screen. Aiden Joseph is a moose. Oh,
it's a moose.
Brief interruption, but we are back, folks. The plot of Unfriended. This girl was like bullied into taking her own life, and these friends are all like Skyping or FaceTiming or something, and they all get a message from her Facebook account after she had already died. So it's kind of this like haunting, psychological, paranormal thriller, and I am gonna give it an A tier. The last movie that we have is As Above, So Below. It was about this girl who was filming a documentary about finding this stone, like this ancient stone. So the whole thing is through the camera of the filmer, the cameraman of the documentary, and like the cameras that he attached to their headlamps, where they end up going through the Paris catacombs. She's like an archaeologist, you know, like searching for the stone, this ancient stone. Anyways, at the end of the movie, I was like, wait, what did I just watch? And I love that feeling, but it was like a good version of it. Like, there's bad ones and there's good ones. This is a good one. I love this movie, and I am gonna give it an A tier. And look at that. I mean, most of the movies were pretty good. I would say S to B is like really good movies. C tier is like, it was well done, not my favorite. And D is, I will not watch that movie again, and I do not recommend it to anybody. That is my ranking, my Halloween movie month of October scary movie ranking. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies and if you agree with the ranking that I gave them. If you don't, let me know. I would love to hear your opinions on the movie because everybody obviously has different opinions. Happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will be back on Monday for our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, bye guys. Happy Halloween.